Yo, what is up, boys? I'm currently down around $20,000 this week. I didn't even trade on Monday either. I came across some data last week that I found out that December is actually my worst month. Ever since I've been tracking that kind of stuff, just kind of looking back at it, I was also having a bad last December. And it actually makes sense because if you guys can see, December, we actually were back at all-time highs. And ironically, this December, we are back at all-time highs, moving even higher. And it just really throws me for a loop. I cannot trade at all-time highs. And it really makes sense why. And you have to break this down. And I wanted to make this video because I want you to be able to critique yourself, watch what I am doing, and replicate it and apply it to your strategy. Because again, everybody trades differently, but we can all break our stuff down individually and make sure that we can actually improve from it. And it all bears down to this, and you guys know this too. I love to trade supply and demand. I love trading price levels. That's my favorite thing to do. That's pretty much what I've made my bread off of. How am I supposed to trade off price levels when we're at all-time highs? And that's exactly what's happening again here. I like to rely on very strong data points for myself to actually claim as a real level that I will trade off of. Or here, I really don't have that confirmation because there's no previous data proving that there's serious buyers or sellers in a certain area. And I think that's why I'm really not getting the best out of myself right now. But it's just so ironic that last year as well, right around December, we were at all-time highs and I was struggling. Looking at today specifically, the last trade I took that really took me out of the day was I took a trade right here off of this previous level. We had this candle close on the 5-minute that I really like. I'm doing this on QQQ just because I have less level set up and less stuff going on, so you guys can clearly see the example. But this is the NASDAQ, just the stock version, moves exactly the same as NQ. This is exactly was my last trade of the day, the one I was actually the most confident in right now, and this was pretty much the breakdown. So we had CPI come out this morning and it actually came out flat. So that indicates that really no, outside impact. But of course, the main reason why I really don't like to trade news is because regardless of if the actual result is bearish or bullish, sometimes things will just go a certain way. And you guys saw that today. Looks pretty bullish to me, even though there was no actual impact from the news result. So coming into today, we were actually trading at all-time highs. I was pretty confident that we were going to continue to play that way, and we actually did. But again, this is like the 5th time in the last couple of days where I've just missed the move because I'm trading a little bit too early and I'm jumping in a little too quick. Was finally trying to find a pullback, and we finally got one right here. I actually marked out this low as our potential area to catch buys off of because I was looking at my book map and we actually had some buyers coming in here, pretty heavy orders coming in here, as well as previously, we had this initial low. This was our pretty much only bottom wick at these new highs that we could really trade off of. But we saw this nice bottom wick here. Next candle, you guys see, tried to sell into it and bought right back up off of it. So instantly right there, I went ahead and marked out this zone. I was looking for a pullback to here to look for longs. Now, what I was planning for trading off of this area was seeing a nice buyback. And that's exactly what we saw right here. I wanted to see it sell into this area, see the buyback, then jump into longs. This candle came through and it was a little too bullish for me. It would have been, I think, around almost a 40-point SL, and I didn't want to do that. I knew this was going to pull back slightly. I didn't know if it was going to break all-time highs and then pull back, but we actually got the pullback right away, which was nice to see. We see this 5-minute candle just kind of sitting here, showing slightly bearish indications, nothing crazy. I would say that this still will remain bullish until this next candle gets printed out, you guys see. But kind of what I was looking for here was a pullback to this EMA. I didn't essentially want to see us buy back into this low, but I just want to see proof of buyers above this area. And again, that's exactly what we got. Now, what I would like to do, especially when I'm trading off my EMA as well, is I love to look for pullbacks to the EMA as well as buying underneath or selling underneath them in this case, and then buying back above, closing above, as well as, again, in this scenario, making a higher low than we did before. You see we have this initial low here, higher low, higher low, higher low. Even if you want to consider this the first low we make of the day because it's our first actual pullback, still the scenario where we have a new low. And it looks like if I'm going to play longs and see a move like this, that we would have to make a higher low, and this could be the kind of prediction of that. But you guys should be able to see what I like here. I love seeing this consolidation after a big move up. This looks very bullish to me. Again, we have this nice buy up through pre-market into market opens up. Buyers are still looking confident. We finally have our initial sell-off, get bought right back up, closing above this previous high, selling back into it, showing buyers in this area once again, buying up off it, going higher, hitting all-time high, selling off again, making a new low inside of this zone, buying right back up off of it. Then we have actual retail coming in my eyes. We had the big orders coming in here, getting up, selling back off, right back to this EMA, pulling up again, making a new high. Right when this candle closed, we went ahead and jumped in, SL at the bottom of this wick. Now again, here's our scenario. I got in a little bit too early and we ended up not getting stopped out of this trade if I would have just traded off the correct area. Because let's break this down again. I didn't need to just trade off of this wick. That's not what I want to do. If I'm someone who trades off of supply and demand zones, I would want to see this get stopped out here, because this is what this shows us, okay? This is our support for the day. And you guys see this going on. I think this stayed up for a while. I think we did sell off for a little bit, and then we ended up actually buying back up even higher. But understand, this is our big buy area of the day. This is where we want to target longs. We don't want to play on a super bullish day. We don't want to just buy longs at any time. We want to buy longs in the area where they are extremely demanded, so we can have that good RR and we can risk these big W's. And look at this, just keep holding new highs, man. I'm so upset that we missed out on this, bro. But again, it's all about intuition, making sure that we can actually adapt and make our trades even better down the line. If I believe that this is the area where we expect to see these huge orders coming in, why would I not have my stop loss underneath this area? Because again, if we get underneath this will actually ruin my sentiment for longs going forward. And that's exactly what happened. We didn't get those big buyers until we bought right back into their area where all these passive buyers were set. And you see, we got right up in here, swept the low, right back up, went even higher all rest of the day. And we would have never even been down in this trade. We would have never looked back. I could have held this the whole day and closed out for probably over 100 points. It just goes to show you that I'm just being a little too antsy. I'm not looking for the right move. Why would I have my stop loss here when I know? Because this is my sentiment, okay? This is what I think about every single time I take a trade. I want to make sure that when I get stopped out, in this scenario specifically, because we're looking for buyers in our drawdown, I want to make sure that there are no existent buyers left below my SL. Meaning I want to make sure if I get stopped out of this trade, I am not getting stopped out in this move coming back up. Like, I want to make sure that the last scenario for me to get stopped out is the trend is over at that point. And that was in this case right here. And I should have held to this low. And I didn't, because I was trying to be too hard. I was trying to catch the perfect move. And that's in the video I talked about yesterday, which please go watch that video. That was one of the best videos I ever dropped. That's not the right idea. And that's not the right step. But this is where it comes into effect, man. The reason why I believe I did this was because I was already down in the day. I was letting previous trades affect my future trades. Doing so, I let the minimum loss pot. Doing so, I made sure that I had the, less risk as possible. I had the smallest potential loss, which was right here, knowing that I should have had my SL here, because this was the real scenario where we're seeing the buyers coming in. And I closed out right before they could come step in. And that's the problem, is I let those previous losses, knowing that I was already down in the day, try to minimize my next trade, and then hence stopping me out for even more. That's not how you're supposed to approach today. You're supposed to approach every single trade independently and making sure that you have the perfect setup, just in an aspect of a psychological way, not in the idea of having a perfect setup on your chart. You want to make sure that you have no previous bias coming in other than the prediction you think the market is going to do. You don't want to have any previous trades in mind. You don't want to have any previous mental problems, whether it's about trading or outside of trading, setup going into a trade. Because what does that lead to? That leads to you not respecting what you really believe is the key point, or what you suspect of just buying too early, selling too early, getting out of position too early, taking profit too early. You're letting these outside factors control your moves, and it's going to kill you. And it's killing me. It literally took thousands of dollars from me. I mean, that's pretty close to killing me. I'm just really upset that I let this happen. Of course, the people that I trade with every day in my mentorship that take my trades, I'm really upset that I actually let them lose money as well. Again, that's my least favorite part about all this, man, is when the people that follow me lose money, bro. I hate it so much. I'm okay with losing $20,000. I'd rather lose $20,000 than someone that trades with me losing $500. It sucks the life out of me. But I just don't know what to do, man. But I'm just really upset that I let this happen. And guess what, man? It's okay, because now we're correcting it. I could have just closed the chart and forgot about this and never looked back at why did I actually lose this trade. And that's so important. That's why I preach to you guys to make sure you please go and backtest. Not even just take new trades, but just look at the trades you took and why they didn't work out or why they did work out. Because now I'm stepping away with information I didn't have before, with confidence, regained confidence, because I knew the setup was there and it played out correctly. And I just got a little greedy with it, and that's all that matters. I just hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope everything is going well for you guys. I don't do this too often, but again, I need to pray, man. It's been getting pretty bad for me. I prayed in the previous video I did, man, and it was a little tough, but I hope you guys understand why I like to do that stuff, man. It's, the only thing you can rely on, man, being able to talk to him and make sure that you are giving yourself kind of a psychological check, man, because that's what it takes, man, to bring yourself to the next level, to actually climb that ladder. You have to make sure you rely on God, man. I know I don't want to push a lot of religious stuff on y'all, but being able to believe, man, being able to pray and actually reflect on your decisions and actually be giving a new opportunity and actually kind of doing such a thing like prayer actually really helps me kind of get that I guess separation from bad things and kind of to actually continue and move on, because I know what I did wrong and I know it's okay, because big picture everything's going to be fine. But being able to pray, rely on him, reflect on everything is only going to help you and make you so much better. I believe he's put us all in a position right now. The reason why you're watching this video, everything has led up to this, to take yourself and your life overall higher. I just hope you guys are good. I know I'm probably having a worse week than you, but hey, I'm going to get you back. Dear Lord, I understand that all the guidance you have given me and all the situations that have led up to this point, putting me in the position that I'm in, just because I'm struggling right now does not mean that I am stopping. I'm giving up on your faith. I believe you've put me in this position and you've put everybody around me that's watching this video, that's talking to me, that's communicating in my space in this position for a reason. We believe that you are giving us an opportunity. Just because it's going to be tough doesn't mean it can't happen, to change all of our lives. The hardships that I'm going through right now mentally and psychologically, the short-term effects of this right now are psychologically messing me up, but I know with your guidance and with everybody else's prayer, we can continue to change this, turn this around, and make this into a long-term success for us. Learning from these are the best way to impact our next trade. Learning from these are always going to lead us to better situations down the line. I pray that everybody inside this video, everybody watching this video, everybody in my family, around them, their families, anybody that's participating in this, not only makes the best out of their worst scenarios, especially within this tough space, but uses it as further motivation and further continue to believe in your prayer and takes this to the next level. In Jesus' name, you guys have a great night.